Hello everyone, and welcome to Black Mountain Motocross, second race of the night for our second to last night of the regular season MX night here. Get a good view of most of the layout of this track and then bring it on over to the starting area here. Pretty technical, pretty cheesy one. Definitely compared to the first one, be interesting to see how these drivers handle it. Let's go through the gate, left to right. It's going to be Detail, Opix, Elite, Slaunch, Roman, Soul, Armada, Vulcan on the left side. And do remember that there was the inverted gate pick for this one. Atlantic, Coop, Luke, Hunter, Turkey, and Camby. So interesting first race of the night. Turkey with a big podium performance. Going to be curious to see how he does this moto. See if he can go for an overall podium. That would mix things up in the wildcard points. Get a win there, Turkey. Come on. Green flag. Gate has dropped. Second race of the night. One of the last races of the season. Oh, Elite spinning out early. A few drivers going wide. Hunter going down. Oh, Vulcan and Detail getting together. Hunter and Detail down hard, and that's going to be very spicy for the beginning of this race. Vulcan's going to get out with the lead. Coming up the hill. Now Luke going to take it away on the inside. Trying to figure out where all of our top finishers from last race are in the field. Slaunch, I could see him there. Competing for the top three, and I was going to say something about Turkey, but Turkey has an unfortunate wreck right there. He has to roll afterwards, too. Turkey was off to a pretty good start as well, but gets pretty bad there. Oh my god, what the hell is up with these... I gotta watch it. What is up with these flips from Soul? Oh, it's one of those. Okay, it's one of those. Fair enough. But let's get the angle of it anyways. Oh, Soul and Armada with crash of the night potentially. That was pretty crazy. Ah, Turkey down again. Detail's still in the back. Yeah, we've definitely got a setup for an interesting moto here, and it's close. I think Luke just barely leads the first lap down over Vulcan. Very close between them, though. Vulcan getting the whole shot for this moto. Oh my god, Turkey again. Jesus. All the way to the back. I think he said it in practice in this one, too. He was happy with his podium of the night. Not feeling as good on this one and showing it early on. But still, shout out to Turkey for showing up and getting that classic show up for one podium. He's always good for that. Good battles in this uphill here. Atlantic getting crossed up by Detail. Detail getting a lot of spots. Somehow at the end of that, I don't know what happened between the end of the lap and like halfway through the lap right there, because he just got like 5 or 6 spots in that whole sequence. That's pretty insane. And that's pretty massive, actually. It puts him about halfway through the field. Close battle for, it's like 3rd and 4th right there. And Luke and Slaunch getting pretty close. Lead battle here. A repeat from what we saw at Iron Hog, potentially. These two battling a lot. The MX. If you want to talk about the MX in particular, Detail swept the Supercross for the season, but Slaunch and Luke did get those moto wins in Iron Hog. So it's actually 3 different motos, 3 different moto winners for MX at the moment. Let's see if that continues for the rest of the night. But yeah, they did really well at Iron Hog. And Slaunch with some potential in that first race, not able to get the dub, but off to a good start here. Both of them off to a good start. See what they can do with it. Slaunch going a little wide there. Assistant third, Vulcan's still doing a good job. The White Men squad, Vulcan and Opix, bringing up 3rd and 4th. Opix with a big send to the inside, bringing some momentum. Whoa! Look at this move. Oh! Cammy gets got in the end of that. Wow. Let's take another look at that. You gotta go further back than that. See what happened here. Detail trying to make his way through the pack. Going for a move here on Camby and Roman. Bringing some big momentum to the inside. Going through the middle. Oh, and getting ahead of Camby, but not on the actual race. That is unfortunate. Wow, how did Turkey follow? What the? How did Turkey follow him after that? Oh, he just went wide. Wow, he just went wide. That's unfortunate. Man, Turkey going through it in Moto 2. Yeah, hate to see it. Yeah, unfortunately, Camby getting got at the end of that one. Detail going for the aggressive moves that you got to make, try to make up this time. And had it in theater, but yeah, that's one of those classic ones. One of those classic ones. Love that. Opix casing across the finish. That's going to be another spot for Detail. Elite. Oh, hold on to it. I mean, that means Camby's still in a really good position, to be fair. Camby's still in a very good position. Detail going for Vulcan now, too. And getting it done very quickly, making these passes very efficient. Luke now with a pretty solid gap on Slaunch. And Detail up to third already, 3 laps in. It's a 15-lap race. That's a pretty quick climb through the field. Does have a bit of a gap to go to get to Luke and Slaunch, but there is plenty of time remaining, and it's pretty manageable. I mean, if he was still like 10th by now, probably not, but being in podium spot already, I mean, I'd definitely say it's possible. Roman making some good gains, too, trying to look to regain here. He had potential for a good finish in that first moto. Didn't work out. That late race mistake on the Joker. I mean, he was going to get a good finish. That mistake really cost him. And he's looking to regain here. And Roman's definitely going to need it. Like I said, he's going to need all the good finishes he can get if he wants to beat Soul. And speaking of someone in a similar position, Opix wants to beat Hunter, get his best finishes he can. He's in a very good position here early on, too. Racing Roman for this top 5 position. I mean, this is very good for both drivers with what they're looking to do. That being said, Hunter is leading that like secondary pack back there. I mean, that massive pack, honestly. That's pretty good for Hunter, but he does have a ways to go to catch up to these guys. That pack is ridiculous. What is going on back here? Soul is stuck in that pack as well, so to update for that Soul-Roman battle, Soul is stuck deep in this pack, so that's not what he's looking for here. Soul, of course, picking up his first moto win of the season last week, though, so I think he can be too upset with the current position. Pretty good first moto tonight as well. But yeah, that win definitely giving him a nice cushion that he'd like to try to stay ahead of Roman. Soul wants to win that battle again. They've been having those battles recently for whatever reason. I don't know why. Soul and Roman just glued to each other in these recent seasons for 4th place. And look at this. Battle for the lead is opened up. And Detail's very close already. He's got to be putting in heaters. Racing to the lead as if the lead was getting diamond rank in the finals, trying to get it there as fast as possible. Slaunch putting in a good fight. See if he can find something here. Luke's switching lines, going to the inside. It's the run on the downhill. Oh, Luke in that back end. Goes down. Good recovery, though. Doesn't lose too much. Slaunch goes to the lead. Luke going to go for a different line here. Slaunch and Detail both going to elect for the left. I like this type of battle. We love to see... Oh, Slaunch with a case. He's going to go back from the lead to 3rd. Luke goes back to the lead. Detail up to 2nd already, but he cases. Slaunch in front. Oh, good battling that we're seeing in the top 3 positions right now. It's what we like to see on these MX races, and definitely have good potential to put on a show like that for some of these lead battles. Detail the big run. And inside, getting some time there. Can he make something happen on Slaunch? He's going to go for a deep outside line. And, I like the switchback, but not going to be able to make it work. But maybe have this momentum like he did on Camby. Not quite. Slaunch holding off that position. Luke getting a little bit of a gap. Meanwhile, Slaunch bringing it back on that inside. They do the roll line. Luke going for the double. They do make up a lot on the back end of the hill. And Luke going for that different line again, interestingly enough. Oh, they all switch it up. Was not expecting that. They all switch it up. The top 3 battle is on. Very close in this race. I believe it... Let me double check. It's Vulcan holding on to 4th, too. Vulcan's in a really good position for a top 5. Showing up to some races late this season. Oh, moment for the lead. Let's take a look at this again. See what happened here. Top 3 battle getting tight. Luke trying to protect it. Slaunch trying to go for it. They both don't get enough of a run. And Detail just goes around the outside and takes the lead. Slaunch with a big run on the inside. Still threatening 2nd place. It's going for the inside here, too. We go for that outside run. Getting that momentum to protect it. I like how many different lines we're seeing out of these guys in the top 3 as well. We're going for the outside again. Holding off Slaunch so far here. Go through the uphill. Oh, Slunch makes some slight contact, following him up. Classic H4 SMX type situation here. Yep. Right down the middle. That's going to move Slunch out. Cost him some time. Still in third place. Still has a pretty nice gap on Vulcan as well, but that's definitely going to cost him some time. Slunch with just a major run on that uphill. Lots of momentum there. Meanwhile, yeah, Vulcan's still in fourth. Roman is up to fifth. Opix still with a solid sixth place. Camby's ran away from that other pack. This other pack's still like really tight-knit, but yeah, Camby was able to get away from it. Showing some good pace here, but just not a good start. Oh man, Turkey in the back. That is unfortunate. Not in last. Atlantic is holding that position down right now. But unfortunate to see Turkey there after running in the podium position. The first race, not feeling the second track as much. And sometimes that's how it goes. That being said, but for someone like Turkey that's not competing in points, screw an overall. Getting a podium on the night is something that he's probably pretty happy with. So it's good for him still. But yeah, that overall performance for him, being like a ringer essentially, doesn't really mean all that much. Doesn't really matter too much. So I'm sure he's still pretty happy with that first race performance. Detail working it out to a nice gap, and yeah, all the top three, they're just battling, but now having nice gaps between each other. Vulcan getting closer to it still with the battle, but now starting to lose it a little bit. Vulcan, yeah, it's really strung out. Roman, Opix. Camby's just absolutely in no man's land. And this is what I was kind of expecting for this race. To be fair, though, it took a lot longer than I thought. It is a 15-lap race. We're already on 6 to go. So already over halfway through. So yeah, I thought this would take... I thought this would happen a lot quicker. The race getting this strung out. But yeah, crazy start. That definitely, you know, helped keeps things interesting. And kept that from happening. But eventually it's gonna happen on this type of track. Definitely the bigger skill gap on this one, I'd say. And more potential, more room for error as well. That being said, update through these top spots. I mean, Detail, this if he could sweep this night, that'd be huge for him. Trying to make that run for the championship. He's in a good position. Luke to try to lose as little as possible. Second place is decent. Slunch would love to put in another double podium. Overall podium performance on the season. He definitely would not mind that. Vulcan kind of in a ringer situation this season, but doing pretty good last week. The Woo night, and looking like he's going to put on another pretty good performance here in the MX night as well. So good showings for Vulcan. Showing back up here. Roman, there's a pretty decent, I don't know if it's good enough, but a pretty decent position for him in 5th place. Yeah, he's having that battle with Soul, but he's lost a lot of mulligans and has to beat him in most of these last races, I would think, to finish ahead of him. So pressure on for Roman there, and he is in a good position for that here in 5th place. He's got Soul nowhere to be found. Opix having that battle with Hunter. Hunter's nowhere to be found, so they're in good positions for their battles. Camby is in a position where kind of just needs some wild card action. That's not really happening at the moment. Camby kind of running in the position that like the points position would be too. So pretty par for the course there. Armada and Hunter getting into it a little bit. Okay. Armada getting around Hunter potentially here. A battle opening up here. Oh! Little bit of contact for Hunter at the end of that landing. Turkey's starting to get some spots in that backpack. Maybe starting to finally figure out the track, get into the groove. You know, salvage the overall a little bit. Make it look a little bit better. After putting in that great first race performance. Hunter's going to gain a lot of time there. Oh, no. Armada on the outside of the rut. It's a dismount, too. And that sucks. Armada passing Hunter and in a really good spot. Now he's in the weeds. He's got all these drivers back here. That is unfortunate. You're going to lose the spot to Turkey as well. Soul trying to salvage what he can. Really good first race. Just from the back from the start here in the second one. Oh, Armada again. They dodge him. Man, that sucks. Running in a pretty decent position for himself, but yeah, some late race conks there. It's going to throw him back a bit. Luckily for him, It's not like the rest of the drivers are immune to it. It could definitely happen. Oh my god, he was sending it to try to make up for it. But it's not like the other drivers are immune to it. I mean, they could have their own conks late in the race here too. So it's not like it's over. And I was thinking about that. Do we get any lapper action? It's actually already happened. Atlantic going to put a lap down by Detail and Luke here. Yeah, the gaps for the top three really opening up. Vulcan, I'll give Vulcan credits. Not too far behind Slaunch, and I think Roman's actually gaining on Vulcan too, it kind of seems. It's pretty close, I don't know. I mean, their gaps have been pretty similar. But that being said, they're running out of time. These positions are looking pretty locked. Even in these... Oh! What was that? We gotta see that. We got some contact. Let's take a look at this. Soul getting the elbows out. Oh! Just sends the lead off the side. It's gonna slow down Elite. Oh, the column. Now that the column rejoin, that was on Elite. That was on Elite. But the getting bash broed out. That was definitely some help from Soul there. That being said, Elite just trying to get some points, just trying to protect his position. Oh, look, Armada getting some of those spots back too. Like I was saying, the potential was there, and yeah, the conks are coming in. He's maybe gonna get a few of those. Coming to the white flag. It's time by for Detail. He does have some lap driver action, so quite a lot of it. That could make things interesting potentially, but he's looking pretty solid right now. But yeah, so Elite still in that wild card position. Anybody going to take that from him, they're going to have to. It's not going to happen tonight. It's too late for anything to happen tonight. It's going to have to go to the last week. It's going to have to go to Hogabilis. That's where it's going to have to happen for anybody to... take that wild card spot away from Elite. I'd say as long as the season keeps getting closer to the end, it's becoming more and more unlikely, and it's looking like that clutch performance from Elite in the first damn race of the season might have earned him the spot. But I mean, there is technically one more race to go, and it's freaking Hogabilis. Who the hell knows what could happen there? So, wouldn't say it's over till it's over. But what I will call over in this situation is Detail's run for the win. He's absolutely going to be taking it here. Last time in the uphill. Taking the win, both tonight and the MX night. That is Coop. Luke going to be taking second. Slaunch getting away from those guys in the back. Oh! Third for Slaunch. Okay. We're going to have to shout out to Slaunch for the third overall. Taking it cleanly. Let's see what happened here. Roman, I said it. He was getting close to Vulcan. Look at this. Closes the gap. And I like this. He goes for it. Oh, he goes for the block, too. I like it. Roman trying to get spicy, trying to get that position. Oh, man. Roman's absolutely thinking in this position just one more lap. He was definitely putting in some good pace. Second half of that Moto. Opic's going to take another solid 6th. That's Atlantic there. A lap down. Camby 7th. Camby also putting in some fast laps just with the rough start, but looking like the pace was definitely there. And look at this pack. It's looking like Hunter will win it out in the end. Oh, it's getting close. There's still some battles on. 8th for Hunter. Here we go. Turkey holds onto it over Armada. Wow. Let's see how that was going. A few corners previous. You see Turkey taking it safe, taking these insides. Armada trying to make a big run. Take this spot at the end. Turkey taking it very slow. Armada looking for something. He cut it really tight. Just a slight case on the downside there. And, I mean, Armada he had to do something. He had to do something. He was behind, so. Yeah, Armada, then Soul, then Elite. Made it exciting, though. Made it exciting. Got pretty close. And then Coop. But yeah, I mean, he had to go for it. Had to go for it. Obviously, wasn't going to get the cleanest landing there, but had to try to make something work. That situation got pretty exciting. Had some pretty close finishes, actually, in both races. Atlantic closing it out, rounding out the field. So that is it. Another night in the books. Only 2 remaining. Only 1 for the regular season, though. Only 1 for the regular season. So let's go through it. One more time, Detail taking the Moto win here, but for overall results, going to be taking the overall as well, 34 points. Slaunch, second with 29. So a good overall performance out of Slaunch, getting another finish on the overall podium. First time, or actually, my bad. His first time second overall in the season was last week. He repeats it. So he'd finished first a few times. He had finished third a few times overall. Never finished second until the last 2 weeks. He's finished second overall twice in a row, interestingly enough. So yeah, coming close to the top step again. Getting some of that pace back late in the season, but not quite yet again. We'll see what he can do at Hogabilis. Solid performance nonetheless. Luke third overall, 28 points. Vulcan with a really good fourth. Well, Vulcan and Turkey both really nice fourth and fifth place overall performances. 24 points for Vulcan, 22 for Turkey, and Roman actually tied with Turkey. 22 points for him as well. Opix with a solid 7th place. 20-point performance. Soul 8th with 18. Camby 9th with 17. Hunter 10th with 17 as well. Armada 11th with 13. Elite 12th with 10. 13th, Coop with 8. And Atlantic 14th with 6. So yeah, there you have it for the overall results. Definitely don't miss the recap eventually for this week as well. Because that'll be a spicy one, and that'll set up everything going into the end. And I'm pretty sure tonight, I'm pretty sure they're both wrapped. I could check. Oh, yeah, they probably are. Locking in a lot of the side championships tonight as well. I'm pretty sure this locks it up for Detail taking the Goose title. And I want to say with Mulligans, I want to say the Hog title is probably locked in for Luke as well. And then the SX MX one as well. Well, the Oval one last week, I forgot to mention at the end of that one. The Oval one last week was obviously wrapped up as well. Moon Night being the last Oval night. Luke taking the title there. Slaunch taking second, gaining 5 positions. Gaining 5 points positions in the last night. It makes sense. It's because he missed Hogtona. That's why. So those mulligans coming in, and also like pretty good performances from Slaunch, honestly, in the ovals this season. But yeah. So the top 5 in the oval points was Luke, Slaunch, Detail, Soul, Hunter. So that was wrapped up the Woo Night. And like I said, yeah, the Goose and Hog titles. We'll go through all the positions for them, but I told you the winners. We'll go through all the positions in the recap as well. And then the SMX one, again, we'll go through all the positions in the recap, but Detail for sure taking the title, winning the last 6 in a row, for sure taking the title for that one too. So a lot of the side championships have been concluded. A lot of those are pretty well wrapped up, but there is 2 remaining, and those 2 remaining are the rally title, because of course the last rally race is coming up in the last night of the season. Detail currently has a lead for that one by 3 points. And then Soul, Real Deal, Roman is actually the 3rd, 4th, 5th. Luke in 2nd for that one. So pretty spicy lineup in the standings for the rally title. So yeah, so there's that. And then obviously, the overall points as well. So a lot of stuff being wrapped up tonight, which makes sense. Such a long season and closing it out here. Makes sense, but still quite a bit more to go through and quite a bit more to look forward to with the final night of the season too. So not like everything is done and over with. Still a lot to be determined in that night. So that should be pretty fun. All throughout the points too, not like just for the champ battle. There's a lot, like I was hyping up in this race. There's a lot of individual points battles too. And we'll see how spicy that grand final spot gets too. Roman is more of a Roman's spot in that fight is a lot more interesting than it was weeks previous with him missing a lot of races. So we'll see how that looks. I'll cover it all in the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the racing tonight. Rest of Detail in the overall. Slaunch and Luke with the top 3 overalls, and shout out to Turkey for the Rogue podium as well. It's a solid finish for him, and Vulcan with a good overall performance as well. So we got pretty good nights out of all those guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Last SMX race for the season. We're gonna go into the last race and the last rally race as well. next week with Hogabilis. So that was like the first tease for the season. And as always, last race. And finally getting around to it. Gonna run that historic track with a bit of a makeover and a bit of a different look and see how it goes in the Hog. So that'll be a cool way to end the season. That being said, since we're getting close to the end here, hope you guys enjoyed the season as a whole. Definitely a pretty cracked schedule and layout. And it'll be fun to close it out with Hogabilis in the grand finals and then look ahead afterwards. So GG's. You guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week.